I'm not going to keep this hat on for long because it won't fit my headphones. And my arms are already getting tired.
Mary Robinson.
She answered the question. She said no, so then I went, okay.
And Phil Tremblay.
Nebraska could disappear off the face of the earth, and it would not affect me any.
Grab a seat because the show starts right now.
I heard that. I had a better plan for the intro, but I heard that on the IFB. That was hilarious. 35 years ago yesterday, our beloved Calgary Flames lifted Lord Stanley for the one and only time, and that was the last time two Canadian teams found each other in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Welcome to our first Sunday show.
Finals.
Sorry?
In the Stanley Cup Finals.
That's what I said.
You said playoffs.
Oh, finals. Yeah, well, you know what? I was thinking about that all day, and I messed it up. Welcome to another Sunday show, or our first Sunday. Oh my God! Don't let me ever do the intro ever again. Our first Sunday show. Can I say it's awesome to be filming a show on the same day as John Oliver? How does that feel? That feels pretty good.
We've made it.
We've made it.
Yeah.
We share a day with John Oliver.
As it happens right now, he's probably either getting ready to film the show or is filming the show currently.
I think they do it live.
Well, yeah, I know. But when does last week go live? At 9 p.m. Eastern or?
No, later than that.
Well, then
I don't know.
Well, then it's gonna be later.
Maybe they're filming it now.
It's not currently.
I don't know. Anyway, John Oliver, if you're watching this,
He's not.
He might be. I don't know. Maybe he's a big hockey guy. Lots going on.
Yeah. So we're going to touch on the conference finals, the Mem Cup, the PWHL playoffs, and various other things. But first, let's start with today with the Rangers and Panthers.
Yes.
Great game.
Where were the goalies? I'll be honest. I didn't watch the game. I was watching the Indianapolis 500.
I was watching the game at work.
I did watch kind of the recap, which only showed me the goals. It didn't show me any of the fun stuff that I wanted to see, like Trouba throwing an elbow at somebody.
Evan Rodriguez. That's who he threw it at.
Oh, okay.
He didn't leave though. So yeah, let's start with the Trouba elbow.
I've seen a bunch on TikTok. It's pretty brutal.
I had a segue into that. I think
Saginaw segue?
I think Trouba thought it was the WWE.
Yeah,
I was about to make a WWE reference, but I realized now that you watch it.
WWE. No.
Yeah.
Well, it's wrestling, and elbowing is like a wrestling type of move.
But there's like a specific move that I thought it looked like because I'm a casual fan.
I have no idea.
So there was like a move that I thought it looked like, but anyway, if
maybe someone listening knows.
If you're one of the 25 viewers that we got on YouTube,
or like the 7 people, half of which are on this show normally, listening live on cmru.ca by students for you.
There's the tagline. Jake Trouba did an AJ Styles phenomenal forearm to Evan Rodriguez.
Like, what, does it go like that?
He just came he comes like right down.
More like Phil nominal. Boom.
Sure. Supplemental discipline. What do we think?
Is Trouba being Trouba?
Do we think it's a game or do we think it's a fine? Because Rodriguez didn't leave, but Trouba's known to be
a repeat offender.
A repeat offender, and also kind of like on the line of clean and dirty.
I also just want it to be clear that in the PWHL, there's a game right now.
I was watching it before I left.
Yeah, and it's an overtime. So there could be a winner before the show ends.
Oh, we should.
If Minnesota wins this game.
Can we watch that live too?
Yes. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
That is so.
Because right now I have the Saginaw game going on right now, but it's into intermission.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I find that really cool.
Anyway, back to Trouba. I think I mean, that's just kind of his role with the New York Rangers. He's like kind of the guy that gets people fired up, and then Rempe comes in and cleans up. But I think, I don't know, he didn't leave the game. It was a pretty brutal elbow right to the head, but it's playoffs. I don't know what else to say about it. It's going to happen. It's not like Trouba's going to stop doing that anytime soon.
No, exactly.
No matter what you do with him, unless...
Should he be captain?
Yes.
I would
Is he
disagree.
captain?
I feel like Chris
Yeah, he
Kreider.
is.
I feel like Chris Kreider should be captain.
No,
I would-
He's been with that team for so long.
I would favor Zibanejad over Kreider.
I would say Zibanejad.
That's fine. I think
but-
I think they both have A's though.
But to be a captain, I feel like Trouba's louder in the locker room than either of the other two, and that's one of the biggest things with being captain in the NHL is being able to get your guys behind you.
But you've also been known to make some questionable decisions, like you saw today with Evan Rodriguez elbow hit and then almost killing Nichas.
Yeah.
That was
That one was
interesting.
crazy. But yeah, I don't know. How do we feel about this series? I think.
Man, the game tonight, it started off with no goaltending whatsoever.
I'm pretty surprised by that. Like,
None.
Especially because you have, Shesterkin, you have
Bobrovsky.
Bob. Like, these are two of the greatest goalies.
Did you see the
And-
shot attempt differences as well?
Yeah.
Ended being 43 for the Rangers and 103 for the Panthers for shot attempts.
Okay,
I think
so you sent a shot attempt stat in the Instagram group chat, and what a useless stat.
I don't fully understand the shot attempts. Like, what counts as a shot attempt? Like,
Block shot, missed
block
shot,
shot.
or shot on net.
okay, but like, I agree.
Exactly.
Like, that's kind of silly.
That doesn't mean anything.
Like, maybe, I guess when you have a number that like that it's that
'cause that
lopsided,
happened
I could
before.
see how you can look into it a little bit. But when like, I don't know, like
It could also
it's-
it's a way of showing who was offensively more dominant in a way.
Who cares if you missed a shot? I get including the block shots, but if you missed a shot, who cares?
It's like plus minus.
Plus minus. That's a good stat.
It's a meaningless stat unless it's drastic.
Yeah, I could see that. I see that.
I think Trouba also ended with 9 blocks tonight. Today, this
That's pretty
afternoon.
impressive.
Captain stuff.
Captain
That's
doing
captain stuff right there.
I think at least.
It doesn't say on here. He had 3 hits though. Schneider 4 hits.
What a
I
great
don't know.
series.
It's been fun to watch Zibanejad. I think he's gonna. He didn't really do anything this game, but
Someone who's been really stepping up for the Rangers is Goudreau.
yes,
2 goals today.
And then
As a- but-
and then overtime winner of the last game.
But Lafreniere as well. Goudreau, Lafreniere, have
What a
yourself
goal.
an evening.
What
Yeah.
a goal.
Lafreniere absolutely
After
turning
sco-
around the momentum,
after
doing
scoring
exactly what Rangers
After scoring
did.
an own goal.
Oh yeah, especially after after game 1, like
Really good bounce
Lafreniere
back for him.
Pretty much was just like, no, I don't actually suck. So great
Lafreniere's
job
been having
from
a
Laffy
fantastic
and from
year.
Goudreau as well.
Lafreniere's been having a fantastic both regular season and playoffs. And I think has really kind of shown a lot of people that he's a top caliber kind of player. And
I mean, he did go first overall in the draft.
For those of you that didn't watch the at least the first period, the Rangers got penalized fairly early with a puck over the glass late game penalty. Reinhardt capitalized on that power play, making it 1-0 for the Panthers less than 3 minutes in. And then the Rangers score 2 goals in quick math here, 25 seconds to make the score 2-1, less than 10 minutes into the first.
Yeah.
There was no goaltending at the start, and I feel like a large part of that is.
I mean,
Yeah.
yes and no, but like that first goal from Lafreniere was awesome.
So was the second one.
And the second
if
one
we're
was
being
awesome.
honest.
Like they were fantastic goals. I think it's a little bit. I mean, like the score, it is what it is. But Florida Panthers with 37 shots on goal, Rangers only with 23. I mean, it's a little bit unfair to say Shesterkin didn't play well, I would say.
He just didn't. I'm not saying he didn't play well. I'm just saying he didn't start well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But then as soon as those 2 goals in the third period went in, he was dialed. He was not letting in another one. The Rangers are so strong in overtime. Like these days, like yeah, going to overtime against the Rangers is a rough decision.
I would agree. I think it's been a good series so far. Staying in Florida, the Rangers have a chance to push the Panthers next game on the brink of elimination.
Sorry, you want to?
As they just went up 2-1 today.
A couple
Yeah.
really close goals this game, kind of legal versus illegal. Barkov's goal in the third and Wenberg's goal in overtime. I imagine Casey's bouncing off the walls. I imagine, both those goals were somewhat under review a bit because you can't, if it goes off your glove, it doesn't count. It's basically the rule.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Barkov, it looked like the puck glanced off his glove and then went in. Ultimately, Latvia elected not to challenge it. And then Wenberg's overtime tip-in, it hit between his gloves. So really close. That's what, and like the Rangers left the ice, but head coach Paul Maurice was staying on the ice and looking down at the screens, making sure, because he was ready to challenge that.
Don't
and
all the overtimes get reviewed anyway?
Exactly where I was going. Is that it was going to get reviewed anyway. I don't want to say good goal because that would imply that the other side is a bad goal, and then it's not really a goal. So legal goal. We'll go with legal goal.
I also like
call on the ice stood.
Yeah. It came out recently too that Paul Maurice has a great discipline measure for the Panthers, as they have if they get upset with a call or upset with a penalty, they don't go talk to the ref or complain. They go back on the bench and they have signs for all the refs that just say STFU, and obviously if you know what that means, you can fill in the blank with all the refs' pictures of them. So you can kind of, like, as a player, you can kind of look at them and be like, okay, that's exactly how I'm feeling. That's exactly what sums up what I wanted to say to the ref, which I think it's a quite funny way to do it, in my opinion, but I think it's a good way you keep your team. It's a good way to keep your team out of the penalty box, and maybe it'll help them in the future a little bit more.
I don't know. I think this Eastern Conference Final is giving us exactly what we expected.
Yeah.
Two powerhouses.
I think it's still going to go 6 or 7 for sure. I still think the Rangers are going to clutch up.
Yeah, New York takes the first game in Florida, just as Florida took the first game in New York. The next game between the Rangers and Florida is on Tuesday. Puck drop at 6 Mountain. Do we want to move on to the West, or do we have anything else to touch on in the East?
I'm good on the East. Before we move to the West, just because I'm looking at Merrick's screen here right now.
Sure.
Do you know how overtime is? It's
the same
PWHL
as
same as playoffs, so we'll have a second overtime here.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I just have the stream up as just a little insight into the finals. It's Boston versus Minnesota. It's Game 4, as it's best of 5 in the PWHL finals.
Yep.
And I think
Minnesota's up 2-1.
Minnesota can
And
win the series.
Minnesota wins.
Right
so if Minnesota wins tonight, they win the
first
first ever PWHL championship.
What was the name of the trophy? We know the name of the trophy. I don't remember what it was.
I think it's the Clarkson.
Something like that. Anyway, sorry. I just wanted to check on that while we.
The Walter Cup.
The Walter.
Designed by
yeah.
luxury brand Tiffany & Co.
Oh, that's cool. Sorry, I just wanted to touch on that just as I see second overtime starting
So that
pretty quick
we might have a
here.
slight interruption if
Minnesota wins that.
Yeah,
Or
we'll do a quick throw once that game ends.
I'll interrupt if whoever scores. It's overtime. I'm not gonna.
I was watching it at work, and it's
Yeah.
still also up on my laptop as well.
Awesome. Sweet. Yeah, we can move to Dallas Edmonton, I think.
I learned an interesting stat about this game, about Dallas.
Go ahead.
They are 0-8 in game ones, and they have not won a game 1 since the bubble year, which I think is quite crazy, to be honest.
Considering that they've gone to they've gone to the Stanley Cup final once since then.
And I think they've gone to the conference final. No, because they lost in the finals.
Yep.
And then I think they lost first round to Calgary after that. Was that the Game 7 year, or was it the year after?
Year after.
And so that was 2022.
Yeah.
So then 2021, I think they went to the third round, I believe, and then
Because that would have been
2021. That's when Tampa and
Oh, that would have been Tampa Montreal. So that they wouldn't have made it to the conference final then either.
no, because it was Vegas. I made it.
Yeah.
And then they're a very good playoff team, obviously.
Yeah, they always make it,
But it's
2 rounds at least.
Very
but
interesting that they have not won a game 1, at all recently.
Yeah,
I think it speaks to their bounce back ability, honestly.
Oh, 100%. Jake Ollinger, just doing Jake Ollinger things.
Do you want to touch on your debate?
Yeah, the biggest thing that came out, at least that I was, because man, I've done nothing all day today. I was sitting at home scrolling on Twitter all day, and there was a lot of talk about this with the Dallas in-game DJ playing La Bamba, after Dallas won.
Which is
last
Edmonton's
night.
win song.
Also,
And
Casey and
goal
Braden
song,
are
I
answering our questions via our group chat.
Yeah, okay. Which is funny because there's a little bit of a delay.
So conference finals last year too, and it's called the Walter Cup, which
Yeah.
we
Yes, but yeah, so they're on a little bit of a delay, so it's
Yeah.
kind of funny. But yeah, so that kind of happened, and then a lot of people were really angry about it, which is kind of fair because it's also a bit of a tribute to Ben, but also, it's a song.
It's a song. Like
It's a song.
You brought it up in the group chat, and I thought, okay, I'm going to reserve my thoughts for it because there's no point in saying them on the chat and then saying it on here. I understand that it was Ben
Stetler. I think. Something. Stetler?
I believe so.
You
We
guys
may
wanna
be wrong.
Fact check that. I know it's not Stetler because I'd be able to remember that off the top of my head. Or
Stelter.
Yeah. I know like it's something for Ben Stelter because there was that whole playoff run and he was a part of it. And
Well, it's the same. You can also compare it to the same one with the St. Louis Blues in
Layla
2019.
Anderson.
Yeah, with Gloria.
yeah, but so here's where I come down on this. I understand that it's a tribute to a Oilers fan. One, none of the Oilers wrote the song. Two, none of the fans wrote the song. Three, trollololol, trollolol, trollolol.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll play devil's advocate here because I can. It's a message. It means something to that family and to the fans.
But you don't own the song, though.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't own the song. Like the Chicago Blackhawks song. If any other team used that, you'd be like, okay, it's a little weird. That's because you associate that song with the Chicago Blackhawks, right?
yeah.
Like I see what the DJ did. It's a mental game. He's playing his part for Dallas as he is playing Edmonton's song, right? But he doesn't know the back history of that. That family is kind of like that's Edmonton's way of paying tribute to not only Ben but Ben's family. So I think they kind of associated that like not as much as like he didn't mean it to like disrespect the family at all. I think he did it to like motivate and kind of like a form of trash talk towards Edmonton.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
and
I mean, I can understand the harshness about it, but like it's the same thing as the St. Louis Blues 2019 Gloria. That was all for I can't remember her name.
Layla Anderson.
Layla Anderson, that young girl. Right? So I think I would honestly disagree with you. I think it's perfectly fine that Edmonton has it as their song because it's a way of paying tribute to this young boy.
But it's also not I don't think it's that big of a deal that he played the song.
Cool, yeah. So no one
Because he also came out and said that he didn't know the connotations behind it, and he was honestly just poking fun. Yeah. And then Casey pointed this out to us probably about 2 hours ago, or maybe it was earlier than that. Again, I've done nothing all day. That he also made a donation to the Statler, to the foundation.
Uh-huh.
So. But we see that happen all the time, like people playing each other's win songs when they beat them, especially in a highly contested playoff series like Dallas versus Edmonton is right now.
And I remember the season after Colorado won the Cup, I think they were playing, ironically enough, Dallas or someone. I forget their opponent at the time, but it was a Colorado and someone else game, and the DJ there also played All the Small Things by Blink.
Yeah.
And that was their Cup Run song as well.
Yeah.
And the announcers were like, "What are you talking about? You can't play that song because it's tribute to Colorado." Okay, cool. So you know what? You're absolutely right. We'll just play different songs until there's no other songs to use.
Yeah, and
you're absolutely right.
No one
think it's
ever
shut
played one of the biggest pop punk songs in the world to ever exist ever. No one's ever allowed to play it.
You know what?
Sue us. Retcon's covered it a couple times in shows.
Because
no.
I think it's all about
you play a
context.
song in a hockey game, it is now yours.
I think it's all about context, though, is the fact that like if the Calgary Flames play a song with are playing the Arizona Coyotes sorry, that's a really bad example now. Playing the Seattle Kraken, there's two random teams, right? And Calgary uses Seattle's song. That doesn't have much of a difference because there's no context or deeper meaning behind that song. But it's different when it's just Edmonton, and this song means a lot to Ben and Ben's family, and also has a foundation behind it. It's a bit more different because there's a tribute. There's more emotion that comes from that song that not only affects the team, but that affects Ben Stiller's family.
Yeah. Ben Stiller?
That's not his name.
Stelter,
thank you.
Ben Stiller is a different human being.
But
But I can see how, like, if you were a diehard Edmonton Oilers fan, which obviously none of us are, if we had Carter here, I'd be curious to see what Carter's reaction was.
I bet Carter's a little frustrated over this.
It just provides, you just gotta have context. Like, it's the same with the Gloria song, it's the same with this song. It's just, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but you gotta keep in mind the background behind that song. Like, Ben is tragically has passed away, and that song has resonated with the Edmonton Oilers, and especially Connor McDavid, because that was very hard for him. We've all seen that interview after Ben's tragic passing, and that song resonates not only with the Edmonton Oilers, but it resonates with the family. It's a way of Edmonton still making sure that Ben stays in their mind, as well as the family's way of getting a little bit of closure in a very tragic passing.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I
okay,
disagree with
it's a song.
I disagree with you what you guys are saying, but that's just my opinion. Is I believe that it's
I
the
think
context that you need to provide.
I didn't think we'd have this big of a discussion about it.
I
but
think we did either.
I think the DJ also, the fact that he came out and said he didn't know,
And then
that makes
donated.
it better.
that's good.
If he
I would
had
agree.
known and
And-
like purposely went out to do that, then yeah, I don't know.
Okay, well,
But,
okay, let's
Like,
let's,
say
let's,
we had a song for Snowy, like, and then someone kind of did that as to rub that in our faces. I think it'd be. We'd probably be angry too.
Well, let's talk about this
So-
then. What if he knew about it and then still donated?
Yeah, I mean, it's playoffs. Again, it's kind of the
Thank
same
you.
thing.
It's playoffs.
It's that mental warfare as well. Obviously, maybe it's a little bit over the line, but so is Matt Rempe. So.
I mean, he's still donated.
Yeah, he still donated. Obviously, he's not a bad guy.
If he does it again, then it's going to cause some more red.
Yeah,
if
I'm
he
sure
does
he's
it
not
again,
going
there's
to
gonna
do
be red
it
flags.
again. I'm sure he's not going to do it again. Anyway, another thing that I kind of saw that I thought was really funny. Did you guys see what the Dallas Stars 50-50 total was?
No.
Less than 30 grand. Do you know what Edmonton's usually is?
Oh, it's like hundreds of
Close
thousands.
to 2 million.
Yeah.
So
Well, because I
big
imagine.
spenders down in Dallas.
Yeah, but it's different. I imagine for Dallas, it's that night. For Edmonton 50-50, it's like a week.
Oh, is it really?
I'm pretty
They
sure.
not do it every game.
Well, like when I go to Calgary Flames games, it gets high. Like
it gets to like 70 grand.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's.
But
So it's
Again,
just
like-
still
again,
a
like,
lot
but-
more
but-
than 30 at a playoff game.
could be just focusing on the playoffs.
That's like what Hitman games get to.
Could just be focusing on the playoffs.
Yeah, the players are buying the 50-50 tickets.
I said,
They might.
I don't know if I don't know if Brandon, I don't know if he can say
Yeah,
that.
okay.
funny.
So Oilers 50-50, May 21st to end of round 3, game 4. So this has been going on for 5 days.
Oh, okay.
It's 1.6 mil.
Yeah,
There's a playoff bonus jackpot, draw date June 26th.
but if you divide that by 5, it's still way
I'm aware,
more.
but I imagine that the Stars 50-50s aren't going nearly as long.
No, they're just
is my
probably for
point.
that night, yeah. I get what you're saying.
Also,
but
like Oilers fans will buy jerseys, so they're not really smart with their money.
that's true.
Who would want an Oilers jersey ever?
That's true.
Don't you own an Oilers jersey?
No, not yet. I'm looking for a specific one.
My dad has
Which one are you looking for? Yakupov?
No, I'm looking for the 2000 kind of 3-4 era away. So like it has like the Oilers worker on the shoulder logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Is it
the,
like the Sprocket one?
My
No.
dad.
no, not that one, but the
That one's kinda cool,
the
though.
away one from that year. So like the Tommy Salo, I think Sean Horkoff was there at the time. Alish Hemsky,
Okay.
UT Markkinen.
Hemsky.
It's funny. I was with the band last night. We went to Ship and Anchor, and there was a guy with a Yakupov jersey. I was like, let's go.
My dad's a big Jets fan, but he has a signed Gretzky jersey when he was in Edmonton.
That's
I think
cool.
it's actually pretty cool. It just
pretty neat.
sits in the closet.
That is neat.
I would never wear that if I had it.
He's worn it once, took a picture, and then took it off.
And then, boop, back in
Yeah.
the frame you go.
But
Pretty much.
I think a lot of Oilers fans took a lot of confidence after
Game 1.
game 1, even though it was a double overtime game. I
Dallas
will say
should've-
they looked really good in game 1. Game 2, not so much. I think it's still going to be Dallas in 5 or 6.
Yeah, I just have more faith in Dallas's goaltending. I understand.
Don't say that. We'll get ripped apart on TikTok again.
Okay, cool. Aiden, Cam 2. Skinner's horrible. Skinner's not as good as Ottinger.
It's
We've
true.
had this conversation last week.
And I got called
Skinner
a
had like
lesbian
an
because
800
of
save
it.
percentage. Ottinger had a 918. Don't talk about, but Skinner's good. He's not as good as Ottinger.
He's still not a bad goalie. He's just not up there with the other guys.
I will say, Skinner did play very
That was a
exceptionally
crazy
well in
camera
game
angle.
1. I'll give him his flowers. He had 31 shots, 31 saves with a 939 save percentage. But then going into game 2, after that very good performance, he then posts a 917, which is not the worst. He's been doing good for the Oilers. I won't lie, but you can't it's the feeling of not having so much confidence in net.
Yeah, and I mean, Ottinger's just...
if for Edmonton to throw Pickard in net during the Vancouver series was an attempt to wake not only the team up, but also to wake Skinner up. You don't do that in the playoffs. You don't throw your third string goalie in over Skinner. I'm gonna switch that because I'm gonna call Jack Campbell the third string. You don't put your second string in over your starter in playoffs because he's playing bad. It's supposed to be you gotta just fix it.
Do you think if Skinner drops tomorrow?
No, they keep Skinner the entire time.
You think they keep him in the whole time?
I will say Pickard is a great locker room guy, though. Every time on the bench, he's cheering on Skinner.
I mean,
he's
played
cheering
pretty
on
good.
The boys.
Like the one game that Pickard played, he played really well.
I think, Skinner's in my opinion, Skinner is a top 15 goalie in the NHL. I think he is above average in goaltending. Obviously, he's still young. He's still a rookie.
Yeah.
You can consider. I believe this is his sophomore year.
Yeah. The issue is the other 3 goalies in the playoffs right now are top 5 goalies in the NHL right now.
No.
Maybe not quite, but
2 of them are, yes.
2 of them are.
But Borowski is not a top 5 goalie.
No.
Borowski's a top 10 goalie.
So, okay.
And the other goalie got
Skinner,
bounced.
You need a top
Skinner's
10 goalie to
first
make it.
NHL game was in 2020-2021. He only played one game
4
that
years
season.
ago.
And then
long time
he
ago.
got 13 games in 21-22. He got 50 last season.
So he's still kind of growing into his boots a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought for some reason I thought Skinner had been here for a while, but maybe I'm crazy. But
No,
I guess not.
he hasn't been here a while. Ottinger's first games were in 2020, 2021, but he played 29, 48, 62, 54.
It's kind of similar
Trajectories.
experience for these guys.
Yep.
Ottinger with a little bit more experience.
Yeah, I'm just gonna cut Skinner's 2021 season because he had one game.
Yeah.
He won. He allowed 5 goals, I believe, and has a save percentage of .868. So I'm just gonna cut that. Since then, 13 games, 21-22, 913, 22-23, save percentage of .914, and then this past season he has a .905. Ottinger, fairly similar. He has had a better 22-23, sitting at .919 in 62 games. I just have more faith in
I agree.
Ottinger. I'm sorry if that makes all the people on TikTok furious because I have an opinion about hockey.
It's crazy that we
just-
didn't even say that anything that bad about Skinner. We just said he's not as good as some other goalies.
He's an above league average starter.
Like, he's decent.
He's
but
an above league average starter. I'm not saying he's a bad goalie. I'm just saying if I'm a GM or a coach and it's a Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals and I have the choice of either Ottinger or Skinner, I'm going Ottinger.
Here, if I'm a Penguin, everyone knows I'm a Penguins fan. I would rather Stuart Skinner than Tristan Jarry. If that's what people like. For their comparison, for a comparison, I would rather Stuart Skinner. If I'm a
Jarry?
Flames player, I would rather Markstrom. But you also got to think of situations. Devils would love Skinner. You have to think of teams that need a good goalie.
The Sabres would love him.
Sabres would love him. Penguins would love him.
Canes would love him.
Canes, exactly. He's better. Like I said, he's a top 15 goalie. He will be, if Edmonton drops him for whatever reason.
They're not going to.
They're not going to, but let's say they do.
He's such a promising guy.
I can guarantee you he'll find another team. Guarantee you. Toronto would love him. Another one.
Calgary would love him.
Yeah.
It's just there are better goalies.
I also think that he was kind of thrown to the wolves a bit. Because he started off, again, I'm mixing his one game in 2021. His first actual season, he played 13 games in 21-22. He was 6-6. 22-23, he was 29-14. He's gotten better. This past season, he was 36-16. But early in his season, he was kind of thrown to the wolves. He was kind of sharing the net with, forgive me, Oilers fans, I don't know, the starting goaltender in 21-22.
Smith.
Yeah.
Was it still Smith? Okay, then yeah. I mean, Smith was falling off. Skinner was coming up, and with a goalie situation like that, it's hard to. It's hard to kind of. It's kind of what we have with Markstrom and Wolf, where Wolf's ready, but Markstrom isn't ready to kind of like pass the torch, so to speak. There's also a log jam in Calgary, so it's a little bit of a different situation because it's 3 instead of 2.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Again, like if I had one game to win, I'm picking Ottinger. I just am. Maybe that's biased because I saw him during the Flames and Stars playoff series where I went to 2 of the games and he stood on his head the entire series. I just have more faith in Ottinger. Sorry, I have an opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Next one of that one is tomorrow. We'll see how she goes. That's all I got.
Yeah. Do we want to switch off of the playoffs to something else?
I got 2 live games going on in front of me right now.
There was something I want to touch on before we leave the Oilers Stars topic.
According to Braden and Casey, I have hot takes this show by saying Bobrovsky's not a top 10 goalie. I don't really think that's. Or no.
Did you say that?
No, sorry. He's not a top 15 goalie. He is a top 10 goalie. I said he's not a top 5 goalie. I think.
Ooh, that's tough.
Ready? Swayman,
Sure.
Shesterkin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Onger,
Okay.
Hellebuck,
Yeah.
and
Demko.
Demko. Those are my top 5. Bobrovsky is just outside.
I see that.
Like, yes, you beat Swayman in a goalie duel. Like, for Boston and Florida, I still think Swayman's a better goalie.
Zoom in on that. That was good.
Aiden's a little busy right now.
Fair enough.
I see the problem with that is who do you take out? Because I would fully hop on Bob being a top 5 goalie.
I'm really about to piss both of you off.
Because you said Swayman, Hellebuck,
Onger,
Demko.
No particular order.
Yeah, that's right.
Shesterkin.
And Shesterkin.
Oh, you could also put Sorokin.
I wouldn't put Sorokin in
He
top
had a bad
5.
season this year.
I
would take Bobrovsky over Markstrom as well.
Oh, yeah.
You would take Bob over Markstrom?
Yes.
I would too.
I would take
For
being
sure.
able to see over not being able to see.
I don't know.
That's tough.
Markstrom's not that good.
I'm about to
anymore.
get a lot.
He used to be great.
I'm about to get a lot of insults.
Oh, probably. If I can just touch on one thing before we leave this topic. Chris Knobloch, even though he's an NHL head coach, doesn't watch a lot of hockey.
Ooh.
Sean O'Leary of The Score put out an article. Here's the headline. Knobloch wants, quote, some standard, unquote, for playoff officiating. Have you seen hockey since at least the shutdown?
That seems super vague. Like, what a silly headline.
There's no standard, period.
Yeah, like obviously.
There's no standard for anything, period.
Obviously, there should be a standard for officiating. Like,
Should officials be interviewed like players at the end of games?
I don't think.
This is like a thing that works throughout. It's a lot. It's been a lot of talk about it in the NBA, for example. But people have brought it in with like the NFL, the MLB especially, because you watch the MLB games,
insane.
some of those, like I know
Angel Hernandez is like 20% of my Instagram Reels feed.
I'm watching some of those
MLB
calls
is
and it's just
insane.
like, whoa. But like, should they?
Oh, second on tight.
So,
I also asked Braden his top 5 goalies, so I'm waiting for his response.
sure.
And if Montembeault is in this top 5, it's automatic. I'm not talking about
It's
it.
gonna be.
It's not
You know
gonna be.
he's listening.
He's not a homer.
If you want to say Carey Price, because he's not retired.
Can I answer your question before?
Yeah.
I don't. It shouldn't be all 4 referee linesmen. It should just be one guy. You
But
have,
then
you have a head ref for a reason.
But then the argument with that is, what if, let's say, you're a referee, he's a linesman, I'm a linesman. I make a really bad offside call that costs the team a game, but you have to answer for that.
You're in your officiating locker room for 10 minutes. Hey, Merrick, what did you see on that play?
Yeah.
Cool. And I'm gonna go and tell them.
That
And
makes
now I'm gonna
sense.
go tell those guys.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that controversy a few years back with the reffing during that Nashville game?
The Matt
Where-
Duchene offside one.
I can't remember if it was that, but I remember the refs were mic'd up.
Casey remembers.
And
Oh yeah, the makeup call.
And the guy was like talking to the refs, and he goes, "Yeah, I just really wanted Nashville to get a call right off."
Yeah,
the bat."
it was against Detroit.
It was just like he wanted Nashville to get a penalty.
Yeah, he said
right away.
he said he was looking for a makeup call against Nashville.
That's it's a bit.
Does he
Yeah,
still work in the?
I think you have one ref who answers pretty much all the questions, because that's why you have pretty much a head ref or a senior ref in that case. I don't think you need what.
Braden responded.
And he said what?
Bobrovsky, Jake Allen, mean grade 9 gym class, Alex Furco in 2001, 2002, Marc-Andre Fleury.
You made it, buddy. You're on Braden's Rushmore.
I'm on Redshaw's Rushmore.
Redshaw's Rushmore.
Rushmore's 4 heads, not 5.
Yeah, but
Well,
I'm
he
4th
was
on
the
that
4th.
list.
True.
That could be a cool segment. That'd
Braden-
be Redshaw's Rushmore.
Braden, I love you.
That's funny.
At least he didn't say Montembeault.
So one of the cases, have you guys seen that Matt Duchene offside when he was still playing for Colorado years ago? I know Casey has, but
I don't believe I have.
he was like 6-7 feet offside. It was a game against Nashville, oddly enough, and that was before he could challenge offsides. And he receives a pass, and he's out near the top of the face-off circle before the puck even enters the zone. Predators think it's offside, doesn't get whistled down. Duchene walks in and scores because the goalie wasn't ready because he was supposed to be offside.
Right.
And it came out, I don't know when it came out, but I remember hearing that the ref thought,
I do remember this. Holy.
yeah, he was a
Phil,
mile offside.
So that's as offside as you can get.
Puck's here. He's obviously,
Whoa.
and then he scores.
So
He should know that he's offside too.
He did.
Like,
he didn't, but he didn't hear a whistle though.
He played to the whistle.
You play to the whistle, and you don't hear a whistle, you keep playing.
Yeah, that's.
I think it came out that the linesman thought that the last predator that the puck passed, or
They
a
hit it
close
in?
predator, they hit it.
so which then
So then it
neglects
nullifies the
yeah.
offside. Duchene's in and scores. I think that's a call that the linesman thought that he saw. But for those of you hockey history fans, that's why that when there's half an inch or a quarter of an inch someone's offside, that's why it takes 10 minutes to get an officiating call right, because someone was offside by 7 feet.
Yeah.
That was brutal though. I won't lie.
It was, but refs are humans, much like MLB umpires. Sometimes they're gonna mess up, much like NBA officials.
Your reference just
Tell me a league that doesn't have officiating problems. You can't.
I think comparing the NHL to the MLB officiating problems is a little far-fetched. The MLB is insane. Some of the stuff I see, I'm like, that is atrocious. Versus in the NHL, yeah, it happens here and there, but it's not as insane, I would say. Granted, I don't watch that much MLB.
But there's a debate, though.
These guys
there's
are
a
doing
debate across the board as to which league's the worst officiating.
Oh,
No!
what just happened?
So I
we
imagine
just lost power.
I imagine still
Well, no,
live
'cause
on
all the
CMRU.
cameras-
Yeah,
all
all
the
the cameras are still on.
All the cameras are still on.
Yeah, all the cameras are still on. We
are.
we just kind of lost the power of our lights, though. That'll be
Weird.
cool. That'll be cool.
That was fun.
That was.
So we hit.
Okay, sounds good.
So
We just lost power.
funny enough, we have an episode that's called Lights Out.
Now we got
Now it's Lights Out 2.
Lights Out Part 2. It's kind of like, remember?
For those of you on CMR.ca, our lights just went out in studio, so now we're just a little bit in the dark here.
That's funny, but like, doesn't that happen? Didn't that happen in an NHL game a couple times?
Multiple times.
Yeah. So we have our own version of that
Yeah,
now.
we do.
That's fun.
You know what? Now we've made it.
Now we've made it.
We're taping during last week tonight, and now our lights went out just like an NHL game.
Ah, I'm so
But
excited
if
to
I
watch
can-
last week tonight.
If I can steer it back to the Knobloch quote, it's,
We're back.
Thanks, Aiden.
it's
Shout out Johnner.
it's fortunate for us that it's tougher. It's unfortunate for us that it's tougher to draw penalties in the playoffs than it is in the regular season. That being said, I think the standard is the same for both teams. I'm not saying that it's unfair to us, but we would like some standard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
You haven't watched hockey before.
I mean, but that's how everyone.
There hasn't been a standard for years, though.
Yeah, but that's how everyone feels, is that there should be.
That's every league. Like, yeah. If I was to walk up to, if I was to go to Chinook and do a Streeters segment.
Streeters is like a random live interview for those who don't know.
Yeah, for those of you that know, it's this random guy with the microphone walking up to you when you're shopping or on the sidewalk or whatever, or on the street. That's where Streeters comes from. It's unfortunate for us that it's tougher to draw penalties in the playoffs than it is for regular season. If I was to say that, or I think the standard for both teams, I'm just saying it's unfair to us and we would like the same standard, is a comment about officiating. Now I was to ask you, which league is that about?
Yeah, that's true.
Any top 4 sports?
Yeah.
Even
or-
the NLL, even
Football?
Hell, even ski cross racing,
European
like it's all
football,
up there.
football. Football.
It's just sports. It's kind of how it goes.
Aiden's screaming at me to talk about golf because that doesn't happen in golf.
Golf's not a sport.
Actually, yeah, it does. Rory McIlroy was disqualified because he didn't referee or count his score properly for proper golf etiquette. So you can count that as a refereeing kind of thing.
Aiden's saying things I can't say on air.
Actually, there was some quite sad news in the world of golf the other day.
Do we want to
We
touch
don't
on
have
that?
to talk about it, but that was pretty sad. I saw that.
No,
Yeah.
that links to the NHL.
Does it?
Yeah,
Are we,
So actually-
are we
so
talking
I
about the
re-
same thing?
the golfer that passed away.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. So
Okay.
he wore red and white, I believe, to match the colors of his favorite NHL team,
The Calgary Flames.
If
which
we-
was the Carolina Hurricanes.
If we can say his name.
And what people did, or what the golfers did next time they had a like a, I don't know what you call it, an outing, or next time they had their next competition, they wore a ribbon on their hat, or not a ribbon, sorry, a pin on their hat that was red and white.
Oh, that's nice. What was his name? I saw it so much because all I've done today is scroll Twitter.
Grayson Murray.
Grayson Murray.
Grayson Murray sadly took his own life.
Yep.
And the family is told BJ just play on. That's what he would have wanted.
And pay homage to his favorite, because that's why he wore red and white, was for Carolina. That was his favorite hockey team.
There you go. But yeah,
Well-
that was. I saw that today while I was sitting at home doing nothing. And I was like, oh, that's a bummer.
Should we segue into Aiden's hockey questions?
Yeah, let's do Aiden's hockey question.
John, are you ready?
We have a couple questions from the peanut gallery as well.
That's a good reference.
From
Peanut gallery.
Mr. Braden Redshaw, who asked Casey who she would like to see kiss each other
Oh God.
if each team was to win the cup. Do we want to hear the picks? Okay, so for New York, she picks Alex Wenberg and Braden Schneider.
Not surprising.
For Florida, she picks Nick Cousins and Evan Rod.
Why?
Most punchable- Evan Rodriguez. What?
For Edmonton, she says, I need Connor and Leon in an open mouth kiss, specifically. Dallas, she says, the whole line of Matt Mason and Tyler, and then Joe and Matt, and then the finale is James and Tyler. And then Braden said it was Jordan Spieth who died, and you were very wrong.
Sorry, I was for the disqualification.
Oh, it was the disqualification, not the guy who died.
I was wrong for the disqualification. It wasn't McElroy. It was Jordan Spieth for the incorrect scoring. So that's my bad.
Maybe, like, if you're that big of a sport, have an official do the scoring?
No, that's just proper golf etiquette. That's just how they've always done it.
Get out of here with the
And
golf
Spieth,
etiquette.
Spieth took it, like, when the press conference goes, I did it wrong, my mistake. I deal with the consequence.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, Aiden,
That's all I
what's
got
your
there.
hockey question?
He's not ready yet.
He's not ready yet.
Okay,
We can-
okay. I have a topic to get to.
Okay.
Big news coming out of the NHL this past week.
Very big. I actually have no idea.
Like that big.
Like super big, massive.
So, former now Carolina Hurricanes GM Don Waddell resigned. He's been there. I had this pulled up, and sadly I don't have it pulled up anymore. I think he was the GM since Ron Francis left in 2019 or 16.
Why does Ron Francis sound so familiar?
Because he's one of the NHL all-time point getters. He was a former Penguin.
Minnesota! They won! Minnesota has won the PWHL championship!
That's it.
They have scored and beat Boston in double overtime, 1-0. And your new official PWHL first-time champions are
the Minnesota PWHL.
Yeah,
Minnesota
that's crazy.
hockey team. Round of applause.
I still pull for Ottawa.
Sorry, I guess.
I told you that would come out of randomly nowhere, and
I figured it would. That's crazy. There was only like 2 minutes left in double overtime as well. Minnesota wins 1-0. I think there's going to be a review here, but just
we won the cup. I love that.
We'll go back to your point when we do this. A couple things that I would just want to point out about the PWHL. Right now on our YouTube, I mean, we count as 3 of them, but there's 39,069 people watching this live on YouTube
amazing.
right now.
I love this YouTube
which is fantastic.
I love this.
This is a great way to make this accessible.
It is.
It's wonderful.
It is. There is a review. There is a review right now on the ice.
I mean, it's an overtime goal. They have to.
Which, you know how tragic that you just threw all your helmets and you just
that would be
celebrated.
But then there was the other thing.
I want to watch this. I'm going to see this.
Coors Light, weren't they supposed to do the thing with the names? Or did they just do that for a bunch of publicity?
I'm pretty sure
that might get pulled back, actually.
So this is a possible goalie interference call as one of the, I can't see her last name. Number 27 on Minnesota was either tripped or slipped into the Boston goaltender, and then was obviously not able to make a save. Ooh, that you could argue
that might get pulled back.
Yeah,
actually.
Frankel was a little bit interfered there.
But is it enough? Let's see. Number 7. That's
not a trip.
No,
that'll be tight.
That's going to be 50-50. There's
can we turn the sound on here?
Some controversy in Minnesota. That could be copyrighted. That could be copyrighted. Don't do it.
Don't.
That could be controversy in Minnesota right now.
If we can just.
I really wish they had team names because just saying Minnesota sounds weird.
Yeah, it does.
If we can just.
Sorry, I told you I was going to interrupt when this happened. That was just really cool.
Just while they're reviewing that, if we can get to. Aiden has a question about hockey.
Yeah.
Doesn't he show himself on camera? Oh,
I'm here. Aiden is on camera. Today, my hockey question for you guys is, I gotta take this off, it's looping.
This is awkward.
In the last 20 years or however long you've been alive, what was your favorite year of NHL hockey and why?
Oh, wow. So Merrick's going to have a few, So for those of you that don't know, Merrick and Phil can't hear his question because
we
don't have
lack context. So we actually have no idea what the question is, but Alex does.
So I feel like Merrick's going to have a few different answers for this. Okay. Your favorite year of watching hockey, your favorite NHL hockey season?
2017. Oh. 2017, easy, done.
Cup win over the Preds.
Yeah, that was the because of that. I remember so vividly Game 1 against Ottawa, which I think ended in Bobby Ryan scoring the overtime goal. And I remember so vividly watching the Game 7 against Ottawa. So vividly, every second of it. And then ironically, that's one of my favorite broadcasting quotes of all time is just, quote, fresh off the bench is Crosby. Because you have him, he picks the puck up in the corner, loops around, finds Penguins legend Chris Kunitz just sitting in the slot, and he just one-times it right over Anderson's shoulder to take them to the finals. And just, that was amazing. That was just, I remember, because I was a kid, obviously, I was younger. So the year before, I couldn't actually watch. It was past my bedtime according to my parents.
You child.
For 2016. And so when they won it the year after, I was like, and watching it again was just like, because when are you guaranteed that your hockey team is going to win in your lifetime?
What was your bet time in 2017?
I don't remember, but
Okay.
I had to watch. But I think it was when do you ever get to watch your team win a Stanley Cup?
I haven't yet.
Right? So,
Yet.
Oh, here we go.
Yet.
Sorry, we have
no goal.
No
the
goal.
game is not over.
They just ripped off their
Wow.
helmets and gloves for a no-goal call.
Braden,
Oh, no.
it's not really a Crosby moment. It's more of a Chris Kunitz moment because he was the one that scored it. It just happened that the quote involves the Crosby name.
That's huge.
The PWHL finals are not done yet.
They
the
are
goal
not
is overturned on goal interference.
Do they have GoPros on that ref's
And
head?
they got
That is
pick
so
up
exciting.
their
Yeah.
sticks and gloves.
Oh,
This is
that
the
and,
funniest
They do it in
thing
the
double
IHF.
I have
as well.
ever seen.
That is tragic.
So
That is.
So this
I'm
is
sorry.
gonna go.
I'm sorry. That's funny.
So, okay, this is actually quite an interesting circumstance that we can talk about. What do they do now? Like,
think
do
of the
they
men-
just go as
think-
quick as they
think of the
can to
mental-
put their
now think
stuff
of the
back
mental
on?
game.
Yep.
Yep.
Like,
They won't
they
be
don't
delayed.
get-
There will not be a delayed game. I don't believe.
I'm not familiar with the PWHL rulebook to that extent.
I feel like that could be a delay of game because, like, think about it. All your stuff is all over the ice. This is going to take at least 5 to 10 minutes for them to
But
get
they
ready
didn't
to
take
go
any of the
again.
other gear off. It's only sticks and helmets.
Yeah, but then you got to figure out whose helmet's whose.
They
whose
have
stick
names.
is whose.
There's no way you don't know what your helmet and gloves look like.
They're all on the bench. They're all done. They're ready.
Okay, so
Yeah,
now they're ready to
boom,
go.
done.
It's now mentally
all
how
that
you are able
energy.
to bounce back. That you just celebrated that you won the first ever PWHL championship,
And then you
and,
didn't.
and now you
And
don't.
now you don't have it.
What a way to.
Wow.
Kick this
I
off.
can't imagine all the energy just sapped out of that building as
So
soon
that's-
as they said no goal.
that's one of my favorite,
That's crazy.
hockey moments, John. That was a great.
Phil Trombley, your favorite year.
I honestly,
Boston's on
I
the-
don't know if I can pinpoint one. Not gonna lie. I know there's a lot of specific moments that contribute to making a good year. Like honestly, the overtime winner against Dallas. The
Gaudreau.
Flames. Yeah, Gaudreau's overtime winner against Dallas. That was fantastic. Like that specific moment, I remember very vividly. I remember getting killed by Edmonton because I was working at the
Kicked by Edmonton.
because I was working at the Red Lot. So I would probably say that working at the Red Lot was so much fun.
Okay, so that would have been 2 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, that would have been playoff 2022.
Yes. So I would probably say that just because of the playoff experience. Because before then, I didn't really. Yeah, other than that, I can't really think of any. I mean, it's different, right? Because he's got a team that has won Stanley Cups.
Yeah, we don't.
In our time, other than 2004, but. And obviously, I was 4 years old in 2004. I even if I did watch it, I wouldn't remember.
Yeah, I would have been 4 going on 5.
Yeah.
I was not even a thought.
Aiden was 0 in 2004.
What?
What month? He was born in April, so you'd have been alive for that then.
I would not have been born in August.
Yeah, he'd have been 3 months old. For
I'm an August baby, so I would not have been.
that. I have the same answer as Phil, 2022, just because that was the first time I can recollect experiencing playoff. Boston!
Boston has scored in the game. Oh, they're going. Wow.
Now they're gonna cheer.
Wow.
Wow.
It is now going to the equivalent of Game 7.
And they're
which is
off
going
the
to
ice.
Game
see 'em
five.
live.
Game 5.
They have wrapped it up. They are going.
Oh yeah,
They are
I
waving.
would get off there so quick. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Wow.
My skin would be on the ice. I'm gone.
Wow. There is
Wow.
some controversy in the PWHL.
Wow.
Boston comes back in double overtime, winning 1-0 over PWHL Minnesota.
Hillary Knight, is that?
I think that was the right call though. I like that was a goal. That was goalie interference. I think that's the right call.
Because of the defender again, I wasn't really watching because I'm trying to keep the show on the rails.
Yeah.
Turn it over and passes it to. Wow, what a shot! So
Wow.
turnover by Minnesota, picks up with a pass into the hash marks for a borderline bar down shot. 37 pass to 11. Keller, who rips it top right. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce 37's last
Oh, sorry,
name.
Mueller. Sorry.
Mueller has scored the goal, and she walks it
and she
off.
just gets out of there. I don't blame
Minnesota
her.
salutes the crowd, and
Quick huddle before they got off the ice.
Wow.
good for them. This is good. I think, obviously, you just went from winning the first ever PWHL championship, and then in a matter of moments you got to keep playing.
Yeah,
So
now
your
you gotta
mental
go to
game
game
was
5.
now your mentality just went from woo.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Minnesota's going to be looking to bounce back. Goaltender duel, obviously just a 1-0 win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's going back to Boston now.
Should
for
be.
Game 5. So that is their Game 7. That's your
I'm gonna take all.
do or die. So
Wow.
what a turn of
That's
events.
crazy.
Anyway, 2022. So someone I know works in Flames production, and he shot my Beer League hockey team a text saying that they had a couple tickets for Game 1 against the Stars. My now
Saganow's
fiance
winning,
couldn't
too.
go, so I ended up going with one of her coworkers. Ended up screaming myself hoarse at Game 1. They won. Obviously, because Dallas can't win in Game 1. And then the same coworker texted saying he has tickets for Game, I think it was either 3 or 5. I'm completely forgetting. I want to say it was 5. And ended up going with my fiance at that point.
Game 3 would have been in Dallas, no?
Yes, it was. So yeah, correct. Game 5. Thank you. So my fiance and I did end up going to that one. I just, for the same reason, I actually got to experience playoff hockey. Loud playoff hockey. You can't beat that. I think 2022 is probably my favorite year. That was probably a super long
Brandon's-
talking about question segment.
Braden's was 2021 Montreal's Cup run.
That's fair too.
So
I also, just to add, I have one other moment. It was my first game when Pittsburgh came to Calgary. They won 10-2, so it was a great game to go to. Pittsburgh won 10-2. It was just all around. It was 2018, so the year that the Caps won the Cup. So they just came off the back-to-back Cup runs. It was a great game to watch. You saw Phil Kessel, Crosby, Malkin, Matt Murray back in the day. Like it was
back in the day.
Look, man.
In the day.
That's like 8 years ago.
Back in the day.
Dude,
That was after I
not
graduated
even-
high school back in the
I'm
day.
not even.
Get out of here.
I was in middle school.
Child.
I was in middle school. I was in grade 9 when I went. No, I was in grade 8 when I went. But whatever. It was a surreal experience because I had a Calgary cameraman that was filming beside me. Obviously, with me being in a Penguins jersey, she's not gonna. So when she put the camera down, she just looked at me, did a little, just to like play some fun off me.
Yeah.
I'm a kid, so I'm not gonna get cussed at because obviously I'm just a child.
Yeah.
But it
I'm
was
not
just,
sure 8th grader is a kid, but sure.
dude, whatever. But it was a surreal experience. It was nice finally seeing my favorite team in person, and then for them to win by 8 goals was quite
That's crazy.
something. So that was one of my, and it was one of my. I went with my dad, so it was a really surreal experience.
That was a great genre question.
Okay, 5-minute warning. I'm going to tear through this Don Waddell thing real quick. So, Waddell was with the Hurricanes from 2014 until this past week. So he oversaw trades like the Lindholm-Hanifin one from Calgary, the Gensel one before American mentioned it. Before he actually resigned, before news came out that he actually resigned, he was given permission to talk to teams already.
It's kind of weird that the same with the coach. They were in the
Yeah,
same
if I'm getting my
boat.
timeline right, he was able to talk to teams about being a GM before he was actually resigned or fired.
Maybe he just got really scared that he had to re-sign a bunch of different players and was just like, no, I give up.
Well, one team he talked to allegedly was not Pittsburgh, sorry. Now I feel like Merrick. Columbus.
Yeah, at least I've seen my team win 2 Stanley Cups. in my
Bro,
lifetime.
shut it.
That's 2 more than you.
It's true. It's true.
God. Oh my God. You're like Penguins Reddit. You have one chirp and that's it. Shut up.
I mean,
Eric's just getting ripped
your
here.
chirp towards Pittsburgh could literally be you were the reason Jake Gensel was traded.
But okay, I don't want to talk about Pittsburgh. We have 5 minutes left. International corner, go.
I got 2 things going on. I got international and I got CHL. International corner, congratulations to Czechia winning. Czechia. Winning on home soil. Huge win. Did Canada end up getting third? I actually didn't even see.
No, they lost.
No way. We
Yeah,
didn't even get
so
third.
It's the first time since 2014 that neither Canada or United States won a medal.
Oh my God, that's so brutal.
Fun fact, in 2014, it was Russia and Finland in the gold, Sweden and Czechia in the bronze.
But back then it was still been Czech Republic.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Correct.
So congratulations to Czechia. That's
Trivia.
amazing.
Who won the player of the tournament?
this year?
Yeah.
Kevin Fiala.
Okay, well, yeah, he beat you there.
I didn't know. Again, I didn't watch it.
Trivia's fun.
We've also got the Memorial Cup in full swing. It's not looking great for Moose Jaw, not gonna lie.
Hey, they still make they make the playoffs regardless.
Yeah, you make the playoffs regardless. Saginaw versus Drummondville is right now, actually. It's got about a minute left. Saginaw is actually beating Drummondville 4-3. Moose Jaw lost to Saginaw. Barely, though. It was a pretty big comeback. I'll give them that. It wasn't looking great. They were down like 4-0 and then brought it back to like lose 5-4, I think it was.
Have you been looking at their Instagram too? They show like all four, like the players through the past 4 years, and they just look like they're getting depressed more and more.
Yeah.
It's quite funny.
All the time. That's just kind of how life works, though. The London Knights beat the Drummondville Volts 4-0, I believe it was yesterday. The London Knights are so good, man. They are so fast. It is unbelievable. I think Moose Jaw's in a little bit of trouble. I think Merrick's in a little bit of trouble because he's going to lose the bet. Drummondville.
I really thought you were going to remember that, but I forgot it's also on camera, so it's not ever that.
Of course I'm going to remember that. What was it? 20? I don't remember what the amount was. I think it was $20.
Donuts is what it actually was, I believe. We can double check the footage, but
I think it was donuts.
I don't think I put $20 on it.
It was my bet with Johnner. That was I would buy him anything if the Panthers swept. So I was sweating a little bit when they won the first game because anything could be a lot of things. Quick shout out because I know we're wrapping it up pretty soon. Aiden Johnner, you saw him do the corner. You saw him come and fix our lights when these all shut down. He does everything. He does all the camera switching. He does an amazing job for us. Our great producer up in the box, Aiden Johnner. Yeah.
Aiden's clapping for himself.
Yeah. Braden is now insulting me that I can't find a good insult against the Canadians. So I told him Tampa and Chris Kreider.
They're French.
That's a low blow. That's a low blow with Kreider.
He asked for it. He asked for it.
Aiden, how long?
I thought we started at
But
20.
we love you, Braden.
Cool. Last
You should
minute,
start at
I just want to shout out Rick Tocchet on winning the Jack Adams Coach of the Year award. Not surprising.
There's a few other awards. Barkov won.
Barkov won the Selke. We talked about that already.
Yeah.
That was just the Selke one. The Jack Adams was just since our last show. We all agreed that it's the award that, hey, your team was bad, but you were good.
Yeah.
Huh.
What award?
And also the Devils hired Keefe since our last show.
They've done some very funny media to introduce that. And they on Sheldon Keefe's goodbye video, they put just a little Devils hat on.
And then the last thing we're going to talk about, the Canucks off-ice members might be getting a bit more hardware as well. The Jim Gregory General Manager of the Year award finalists were announced. Patrick Allvin, GM of the Canucks, was announced as a finalist, along with Jim Nill, GM of the Stars, and Panthers GM Bill Zito. I think it's going to be Allvin. With how active he was in trades during the season, I just think
that's the
again.
Is that the
yeah.
Panthers one? Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
You picked up Tarasenko.
No, Panthers is Bill Zito. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I think the Panthers one because they kind of went all in with picking up Tarasenko and then Buffalo's captain. They took
Okposo.
Okposo, yes.
Saginaw wins at home. Big comeback against the Drummondville Voltigeurs. That'd be crazy if it's, sorry, just to completely derail you
It's
again.
a nice show doing this when there's live hockey on.
It is kind of cool. But Saginaw versus London would be a crazy final. That place would be packed.
Mm-hmm.
That's my prediction.
Yeah, so we've got to wrap the show. We're probably over an hour now.
Great
we
show.
will see you guys on Wednesday. Enjoy PWHL Game 5. Enjoy more conference finals. Enjoy the Mem Cup.
More Moose Jaw getting smoked.
Braden, Casey, thanks for listening. Obviously, you guys are still part of the show. We look forward to you guys coming back.
Yeah. See you guys on Wednesday. Have an awesome start of your week.
See you, John Oliver.